Hello you and welcome back to another episode of Let's Build an Egyptian Sea. Last episode, I don't really know where we left off. I'm kind of looking at that and I'm guessing that's where we left off. But this episode we're moving on to something new. I still haven't finished off the walls, and if you saw my autumn update video, then I sort of explained what was going on there and what's happening. Now I am making a slight detour from what I mentioned in there. Let me just turn off some of these waypoints. Journey map and waypoints and all off. There we go. That makes it easier. I'm not seeing all the dots over there in the distance. Yeah, so what I did say in that video that we were going to have like let's build a dock, build a market and stuff like that, rather than let's build the city episode like 750 whatever. Because you know it's going to be a big massive series, but I've changed my mind about that again, and we are just going to have episode 7 we're going to be building docks, episode 8 we might be building more of the walls, episode 9 we might be moving on to buildings, and the docks might still be unfinished. You know, it's just going to jump around rather than sort of be, I think because I was setting myself of like we've got to get this bit finished before we move on, and that's well, I'm kind of losing inspiration and motivation to build. You know, it was becoming more of a job than fun, because I was saying I've got to get this bit done before I can do the rest. So that's enough talking. We're going to start building the docks, and this area is huge. And I think the first thing that I want to kind of get in is, I'm not too sure what they're called, but you get these like breakers. That's what I'm going to refer to it as, where like you pile a bunch of rocks up and it goes so far out into the sea, and what that basically does is when the ocean waves come in, it breaks them, so you get these calmer waters inside, which is where the actual bay section bit area is going to be. And then over here we're going to have probably another one or something coming off one of these. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do with that, so I'm thinking maybe if it comes off from there that gives us plenty of room. Probably not going to have any shipbuilding in this episode. Probably a good thing. I'm just sort of going to plan it out. So I'm actually going to use a bunch of wool, get it planned out, and then what we can do is I can go in, set up a few of the basic stuff, and we can cut back and see what's actually happened there. Probably blue wool is not going to be best to use, is it? Once of it's going to stand out on the wall. So let's use green, magenta is going to stand out, and yellow is going to stand out. So I've got a fly in front of me. The grey, not grey, the yellow. I was thinking grey. We didn't use grey. So the yellow we're just going to bring out in this general direction. And let's get a brush and do this a bit easier. So we want tools. We want any tool. We'll take a gold tool for yellow. And we'll take a diamond tool as well. Another thing I'm going to do, because it's just getting a bit annoying, is I'm going to turn the sound off completely, so it's going to be a very strange episode. You will have music in the background, so it'll be alright for you guys, but just the waves and stuff in Conquest, while it's cool and awesome when you're playing a game, when you're building and it's just like repetitive over and over, it kind of gets a bit annoying, or at least I think it does, so we're going to turn that off. Cylinder 35, I think 4 is yellow, it might be orange. No, 35:1 is orange, so, and we only want a small one, so size 1. And then mask 0, and there we go, 4 was yellow. So we can bring this out, and it's going to be generally this direction. And I think what might be cool is to have something along this, like, you know, a big path that comes along, and, you know, it can be like a big dock area. We're going to have smaller ships in here, because there's going to be like more fishy, like fishing boats and stuff on this side. That comes out quite a bit there, and then this can come this way a little bit. I'm not sure how far to bring this out, and I've never really built boats properly, so I don't know how much space I need to give ourselves. This is going to be much wider when we actually build it, but I'm just using this to sort of lay it out and give us a base reference. I think that's big enough. That's big enough for what I want to try and build and what we're aiming to achieve. So we're basically going to have some small docks on this side and small docks on that side. I think we're going to lower the terrain here as well, probably to about this height. So it's not going to be completely level, but we are going to bring some of these cliffs down by quite a bit. which will make our walls look a little bit taller and more imposing as well. So let's go to this side, and I can't remember what we said in our plan was going to be over here. Was it going to be a temple? Was it going to be a palace? And I think it was a... Either way, anyway, we've got this little bay area which we have to do something with. And I think it's probably going to be good to have... Let's get the journey map up because you can see it better. Instead of having this yellow bit here, instead of having that coming off from this one, I don't know if you can see my cursor, I think it'll be best to be coming off from this arm here. It's almost like a straight line there going across, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I think it's a good thing. It kind of looks right. So we're going to bring that across as well. Lower that down, like I said. We're going to have a bunch of wooden docks and stuff, and see what happens there. This is going to be a longer episode without many breaks, so I apologise if it's not as entertaining as some of the other ones. I do try to edit the videos out and stuff like that, but you know, just throwing in some planning, long, boring episodes like this every now and then, it can be fun to see, you know, how you sort of plan things out. I've never really done docks before, because like I said, I don't build ships. It's kind of new to me, so it might be useful for some people who have never built ships. So how far out is that? I think I might follow this here. See where it's quite shallow? This bit? And I might build this up to a little island, like a small little island, and we can have something on there. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I like this idea. See? Doing stuff like that, and now you see, like, I could have just come back and go, oh yeah, we built an island. And you'd be like, well, why has he done that? Where did that idea come from? Now you can see. I just saw it and thought, you know what? We're going to build that up. And you know what? I'm not even going to build it as an island. I'm just going to build it as you've thrown a lot of rocks down this area, and this is going to be a sort of wider section of this breaker that we're building. I really need to find out what the proper term is for what we're doing, and hopefully you guys know what I'm doing, or at least you will when this video comes to an end. We're going to have like a larger section. I'm not going to do it. It's going to be slightly wider than that. Basically, it's going to be like a larger storage area, and yeah, that makes sense, because if we're going to have like a palace or something there, then there can be like a little private staircase that comes down. This can be sort of the docks for the royals and stuff like that on that side. And we've got the journey map up. There's quite a large area there now. I wonder if maybe we could have another one of these breaker things coming off in this direction. Not going like massively out there, but just a little bit. And then here, I guess we can just have docks and stuff like that. I'm wondering if this needs to come out more or not. I think we'll just bring it out a little bit there. Okay, so we've got those breaker sections in place, and I think that's looking pretty cool. I am just going to sort of bring this in a little bit. Wrong tool. I thought my game was lagging or breaking or something. I'm just going to bring that in just a slight curve a bit more. And if the journey map updates, come on. Update. Do it. Update. It's not updating. Well, yeah, so it's just that it's curling in a little bit just to break those reefs. Right, so now I'm going to mark out a few dock areas. So I definitely want to dock on this side here, on this little beach. But I don't even know if I'm going to do it as a proper dock. That might just be a beach. So I definitely want to dock in here. So I'm probably going to smooth out that area as well. So this dock is going to be a small one. And it's just going to be logs like this. 2 high logs. Like that. And probably about 2 wide. Like that. And is this long enough, or do we want it to go out by another one? I'll do it one more out like that. That seems okay. So we've got one dock in there. I don't know what I've got this green wool for. I'm not too sure what that's going to be used for, but we'll find something, I'm sure. Here on this side, I'm going to go for something a little bit different. I'm going to do docks going like this way. So it's going to be And in fact, we're going to go 3 wide with that as well. Let's grab some sand and throw that in there. We're going to go like this. That's just something a little bit different. And then if I do one here, and then we can come out by a section as well. So what I didn't want to do then was have it just come out straight in the middle, because if it came out just there, it would have been too symmetrical. So that's why I've added that extra bit on the edge. And that can come out to about there. That looks okay. This side, I'm not too sure if we do want to have docks on this side, because I mean, I suppose we could, but you want them to be mostly on this side here, because it's going to be the easiest access to the city. That side really is just, it's more of a function. I mean, I suppose it'd be good for storing boats there, I guess, but we'll see what happens. Now I want to try and build some on an angle, so we're going to be going 1 there, and then we can have like that, 2 again, and then like that, and 2 again, and like this. That seems okay. And then from here we're going to go in, out, there. Does that look right? I think that, no, that looks, why does that not look right? That looks right. Does it? I'm not sure now. Getting all these weird water bits coming in now as well because of the way I'm messing up with water. That's too wide. That would be... I think this pillar's in the wrong place. And that's why it looks odd. Let me have a think about this for a second. Let me just build it all out like that. This way we can use our green wool actually. So we're gonna have that there. If I keep putting green wool down there, don't I? Keep putting a lot of things down here. Oh dear. Okay, I think I've sussed out the path. Way? No? Have I? That's there, and then that's going to go 3, and then 2, and then 2, and then 3, and then 2, and then 2. That's not right. It's almost right, but it's not quite right. Why is this being so awkward? I think our problem, that should be there, that should be green, this should be there, which means then that can go to there, and then we can have that, and then that can go there, and then that, and that can go there, and I sussed it. Looks a little bit odd, but that's about right for the angle. It all seems to work quite well and doesn't look too out of place. I think I'm just going to stick a pink bit on the end of that, and then we can put 2 green bits there like that. And yeah, that looks alright, that works. That's a fine little dock we've got going on there, so we can build them down at some other point. Wow, that was a lot harder than I was expecting it to do. Right, I want to get some progress in this episode, so what I'm going to do is, now you've seen me do one at an angle, you've seen me plan that one out and this small one over there, I'm going to put all of this in and use the wool to bring out a bunch more docks, and we'll cut back and take a look at what the plan looks like at the end of the episode, and yeah, it should be pretty cool. I don't think we're going to be doing any of the texturing for the docks in this episode. We'll see how we're doing for time, but the plan at the moment is just to get the plan done. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Okay guys, so we're not quite finished yet, but I just thought I'd bring you guys in and show you the technique I'm doing to build this wall. I'm not 100% sure on the material yet. I was kind of going for a lighter rock material, and that's based off when I was on Tenerife. There was these massive cubes of rock that were just thrown into the ocean for their breakers, and I figured, you know, obviously we can't cut like that because we don't have the materials, but I kind of thought, you know, maybe we'll go for something like this marble, something a little bit different. So yeah, how am I doing this? So I'm going to go show you that now. So we've got a brush with a sphere size of 3, and I'm just like plopping some of these spheres down. Let's undo that. Way too much. So basically we're just going to plop a few of these down, and we don't have to be super accurate about them, which is the great thing about this and this technique that we're doing. When it comes to, like, you know, trying to pile them up and stuff like that, we can put one right up there if we want. That's not going to make a difference because we have this thing called the gravity brush. So to do this, you do /br gravity and equip gravity brush, and when you right click, if you don't know already, everything just starts falling down, and that's really useful. It's not perfect, you know, you are going to have to go in by hand, and you will end up with blocky sections like this here. So all I suggest you do is just sort of place in some bits, remove some bits. You do get some really tall spikes in places, which if it's something you like the look of and it's intended in the build that you're going for, it can be useful, can look effective. But basically I'm just using the gravity brush super much, not a lot. I'm using the gravity brush a lot here at the moment, and then I think that might be alright, so I'll do that on this side as well. And then once we've got the gravity brush down to a place where we're happy with, I'm going to come along with the cylinder brush again, and we're just basically chopping off the top bits. And for some reason this keeps happening. If anyone knows why, please let me know. Like, when I right click, I don't know if this is a Minecraft thing or if it's just my mouse being dodgy, but I'm right clicking once, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. See, it's taking out 3 layers. I think it's a Minecraft thing, the way it's like doing it in 3 stages like that. I'm pretty sure that that's got to be a reforged issue, and it's just it's so annoying. I got to a point before where I had to actually do it by hand because the brush wasn't quite working properly. So yeah, if anybody has had this problem before, or knows like a solution, or knows exactly what it is, that would be great to find out. So once I've got all this done, I'm then going to go by hand and sort of smooth these edges out and make it a little bit more neater and a little bit nicer. This is sort of the width we're going for here, and it is going to be this flat all along, and this is 2 blocks above sea level. So you can see our docks over here, these green blocks are the sea level, and let's grab that. The sea level is going to be this height, I think. It should be that height. We've got a bit over here, which is, if we just follow this contour around, it is that height there. So yeah, 2 blocks above sea level, which is plenty high enough for breaking the waves. And I did Google it. They're just wave breakers. Simple as that. So that's pretty cool to know. Right. Next time we see this, all the water will be back in place, a few docks will be dotted along, and I think I'm only going to do this half in this episode, and then the next episode, or later on when we come to the docks. This is going to be more built up properly because it's not as deep. It's quite shallow on this side, I think, and it's going to be sort of royal docks for the palace. I've set my mind up now. We're going to have the palace over there. Then I think it makes more sense for this to be proper structurally built as opposed to just dumping a bunch of rocks in the sea, which is what this look is supposed to represent. Right, I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay guys, we're back, and this is going to be the end of the episode, but I thought I'd just come in and show you guys what I've been working on, because I've been doing quite a bit of work, just here and there, just dotting about between the docks, which I'll show you in a minute, and between this little section here. I just want to get your guys' opinions, and then I'm going to end the episode, and I'm thinking for the next episode, we're going to actually start going into the city, because I've got a few ideas that I just kind of want to get into it. Also, just before we get started, I have downloaded the replay mod, which you guys probably have seen the replay mod test that I put up. So we are going to try and get a few time lapses going as well. But first of all, I'm not too happy with this path. I kind of wanted it to be like super smooth, but then I didn't like, you know, having it all the way, and it looked too bitty or something. I don't know. I just didn't like it. So if you guys have any ideas of path materials to throw in here, or just how to make this look generally better, let me know. Show me pictures on Twitter if you've got Twitter and stuff like that. Again, with the flora here, I keep calling it fauna, and fauna is animals. So with the flora here, I've gone for simplistic. It's got to be sparse, but it looks quite flat and quite boring at times. We've got a small little path coming down here, which I really like. The only issue is that it's a bit straight, so I suppose I could probably weave this path a little bit better. But I kind of like the flora down here. It looks a little better than it does up there, and that's because it's on levels. Throwing these little red flowers in and out every now and then as well. Somebody's already made the suggestion about making these trees lean slightly, and there was a big Twitter discussion about that. With Lenta Brige chirping in about how the trees grow and stuff, and he made a good point that, you know, when it's dry, there's not that many strong winds, they're not going to lean. But I am going to put a slight lean to them, just, you know, use the where is it? The vertical slabs and stuff like that, just to add a little bit more base at the bottom, a little skinnier at the top, kind of just a few small changes like that. I've added some of these other acacia type trees in. These are from in that direction. Can't really see the red wool anywhere, but yeah, they're from over in that direction. I'm going to put some of the cypress trees in, maybe make some of my own and stuff. Now, I put loads of these reeds by the river, and I kind of like the look of it. I need to do a little bit more detail on this side, and this is a kind of basic layout for the docks. And when I was googling about Assassin's Creed Origins, I saw some of the docks had these little steps down, so I kind of like that, and I've got that a few times. But this is just one basic dock, and then we're going to be putting boats in as well. I'm going to be doing that at some point. This still needs detailing here, and moving on, I can see I've not done all the docks, and I'm still not 100% sure about this breakwater thing here, but I've laid it out. They've got quite a big area. I kind of wanted a raised bit here, so there's like a little tunnel for boats to go through into this section here. You know, we've got a storage area there. Just kind of like using the space a bit more, because if we only had docks on this side, you know, you've got all that waterway there that would have been just completely left open and bare. So you can see here we've got some of the crops going along. I just started to put a tree in. There are going to be a few dotted around here. I'm thinking of having little market stalls of like fishermen along here and stuff like that. So it's going to be very busy here. And this is the style that I've gone for with these docks. Now these angled ones were a bit annoying to actually get going, so I'm glad I didn't actually record that episode. I'll record that as part of the episode. Maybe I did. I can't remember. It's been almost a week, I think, in between recording the first part of this episode and this section that we're recording now. So yeah, I kind of like that. It mixes up the wood a little bit. Same again over here. So this is using the trapdoor. This is what? It's dark wood planks, and this is the trapdoor variant. So it's quite thin. We've got these support beams in, which I think make it look really cool. And I quite like these little docks that we've got going. They're going to be very similar over here. I'm not sure if they're all going to be raised up like this. Maybe these ones are going to be at like water level, because I kind of want to have that mix. So you've got different height variations. This one, again, is raised up even higher, and that was to go with the terrain, because, you know, they've got this little bit of a cliff here. So I've raised this up even further, and again we've got these little step down sections, and I really like this. Don't know why, I think that looks really cool. And then I tried to put this at a weird angle here, and we've got a really thin skinny one coming off there. Like I said, we're going to have the fancy one over there, with like the royal docks, and I'm thinking just to break up this middle part of maybe having like a big pier coming out. My girlfriend said, where's the pier? Because, you know, in England you've got like the big piers that come out far into the sea. I'm not too sure if that's a feature that we should have, but when I was googling about Alexandria, which this city is quite heavily based off, there is this pier-like structure. I can't remember what it's called right now, which is kind of annoying, but they do have something like that. So maybe if it only comes out to about here, for example, if it's in the middle of these two sections here, I just think that might look kind of cool for some reason. So we might add that in. I'm thinking of having a gateway here, and another small feature that I want to add that I've actually not mentioned before is having a canal running through the city and coming out near this gate. So if we have the gate here, for example, and let's say the gate comes up to about, just grab 2 of these blocks, let's say the gate comes to about there, something like that, a couple of towers either side, the gate comes to about there, and then we're going to have a sort of small canal, maybe 5 wide canal there, and that's just going to come straight out to here, pour out into the sea, and that canal is going to sort of run through the city and give life to the city, which I think is going to be quite cool to do. But that's it for this episode. Next episode, it's either going to be working on this gate here and the mouth of the canal and the pier all in one episode, or it's going to be working on one of the main roads, because I want to have this dual carriageway almost type thing where we have long wide road going from one end of the city to the other, and then like a row of planters and stuff like that, and then another one as well. Just 2 large, huge, big roads, probably about 9 blocks wide each, something like that, so really big. And then we'll have loads of little buildings dotted around inside all of those different sections and stuff. So I've got quite a few ideas. Also, my journey map has changed. I don't know how to change that. I pressed a button when I was spamming with things, and now it's gone rectangular instead of circular. So if anybody knows what button I need to press, please let me know in the comments below, and I will do that for the next episode. Yeah, that's it, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment if you like the ideas, if you got any ideas for the foliage over there, if you like the docks, you think I should do them differently, and what you want to see next. Do you want to see me doing the roads and start in the city, or do you want to see me doing this gate and the pier and the canal and stuff like that, or do you just want me to go on to the Nile section and the other river? Because remember, we're going to be redoing this river, and then around here there's going to be another city, more Egyptian style, with pyramids and sphinxes and more of the classic stuff that you're expecting from this series. So far I'm enjoying this, and I think this new way of just sort of doing what I want when I want rather than doing it logically is going to be a lot better and keep me more motivated to do it. And yep, video's getting long, so I'm going to cut it here, and goodbye.